Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we're going to take a look at the generating data with Gemini and Google Sheets. Now this one, we're going to look at some of the table examples that they have and kind of just a quick introduction to this. Now the new function AI is the main aspect of this entire Gemini in Google Sheets. They have some templates and ways that you can add this to a column inside of a structured table. Now, the main things that this is for is to generate text, summarize information, or categorize data. There are other use cases you can do, but that is the main typical things that I've seen so far in my kind of quick walkthrough that we'll take a look here. Now, you can look at this link. I'll have it in the description if you want, but here's kind of their main aspects that they are showing as examples. So you can do something like AI and then write a formal copy to this product and then have a cell range. You can do categorization, kind of saying, put this in this category A, B, or C, and then that's all that would be in that cell. Or summarize what is going on with this email, summarize it in 1 or 2 sentences. The big thing here that I wanted to mention in this kind of introduction, this is a premium feature. So you do need to pay for this, either in your workspace accounts, or if you have a personal one, you need to have that AI included in the Gemini for this to show up. So you can see down here, availability is for Business Standard and Plus, Enterprise Standard and Plus, with Gemini Education or Gemini Education Premium add-on, although it does say that these things, some of them are no longer offering. Just making sure that, so if you don't see this, that is why. You can still watch this and kind of see what you can do. Here is a sheet that I have, and you have this table here, new AI enhanced tables, and they have some kind of feature ones that you can do. So there's this feedback collection. I'm going to make my screen a little bit smaller so you can see. Let's just insert this because it kind of shows the category type thing that they were saying. So when you push enter, you can see here this kind of purplish lined through is going to show what that is. Now you can see down here, since there's nothing in here, it just says I'm unable to, please provide feedback, things like that. Up here, it's positive and negative. You can see this is the feedback, and this is going to essentially show what the feedback is: positive, negative, neutral. And it also specifies capitalize it. So it all will stay in the same. And then you'd be able to run different things like how many negative things, how many positive things do we have, and go from there. The second category that it has is if it's a compliment, exchange request, or return request. Same thing, capitalize it. And you'll kind of see there are some different aspects that would be good to specify how you want it to be. This would be another category where you would be able to then pull how many compliments do we have in this table, how many exchange requests, things like that. The next one we're going to look at is the email response. So I'm just going to go ahead and insert this. Here you can see it's the AI function. Then this is the prompt here, and it's saying to not repeat the name, probably just so it doesn't keep saying like John Smith, John Smith. Here would be the responses that it has. Now, it pretty much just repeats what is there in the email body, but this is creating some information on there and can be a great way to kind of start it and then tweak it as you need, especially if you have a lot of emails that you need to do. Now, these ones, again, it's saying there's nothing there. So if you have an email that is in there like, hi, I want a wedding in 12/24/2025. Let's do Smith Johnson, and the email subject is wedding. It's not very descriptive, but let's go. When it turns this purple, that means that you can then update it. It'll keep the text until you do this generate and insert. So if you do that, pretty basic, but also it didn't give any details. Let's say that this then somehow changed. Hi, I want this wedding in there. Let's say I want food, live music, and I am planning for 500 guests. We want it at night to at least midnight. So you can see here it turned purple again. So if you want this to kind of update, I push that, it does update and show basically all of that new information and, better response to that email that we got. There's that. And again, it's kind of creating some new things. Last one was summarizing. Let's just do a call summary. Put this in sheet number 7. And really, it just summarizes what this call is and gives you one sentence. Again, having these 3, it is a helpful thing, especially in here. If you're using AI and going into like the Gemini.com, now it's integrated within the function AI. Now, one other thing that, and this isn't as like business oriented, but one thing I found that could be helpful would be something like this. If you have some animals and you wanted to have some facts, this again is going to be on that kind of text creating, just to kind of show some other things that you could do. So let's say you have a list of animals and you wanted some facts. You can use equal AI, and you can make a prompt like list in bullet points the animal, average lifespan, average size, and one interesting fact. And then you can have it be B3, hit enter, and see here that it kind of lists it in this. If I bring this down, you can see each one kind of is in that same categorizing. And this is where I think it might be useful. Again, like thinking if you're trying to make like a book, or, you need a bunch of different facts about things, or, create something in a specific way, like the name, in the email title, the body, conclusion, things like that. This would be a way to be able to, create things very fast. Looking at these, they all seem about right. I don't know exactly if this is accurate or not, but generating it, I like that it's all in that, because then you would be able to kind of pull what you need. This animal is at the top, then the average lifespan, those. Alternatively, you could make this where you have kind of at the top, like average lifespan, average size, interesting fact, and then kind of pulling what is the, and then pull this average lifespan of this animal. Wanted to at least show another way that, at least to me, interesting way to use this. For me, I do like this, just in the fact that you can use Gemini and keep it organized within a spreadsheet. So I think there's a lot of things that could be going through. And just my initial responses is, this is pretty cool. I'm excited to kind of play around with this more. What are the limits of these things? So hopefully you find this interesting and helpful. If you have use cases that you've been doing or wanting to do, feel free to leave them in the comment. I always love hearing how others are using different programs like this. And yeah, anyway, do those social things. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate it. We'll see you in the next one. Bye now.